Vishyamavachamimam prasuptam sanjeevayattikhilashaktidarasvadhamna Anyamscha hastacharana shravanatvagadin pranam namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam Yam gurum hi swayam satyaha pritya bhakti vinitayaha Vihiptischa vrata nityam tam gurum pranamamyaham Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya madhyamam Asmadacharya paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam 44 Karalagnamrigah Karindrabhangaha Ghanashardula Vikhandanostajantuhu Girisho Vishakatishtashetah Guhare Panchamukosti me Kutobhi Chandrashaki Shikhan Vidayir Dvijavarai Samsevite Shashvate Saukhyapadini Kheda Bhedini Sudha Tarif Phalair Dipite Chetah Pakshishikhamane Tiravritha Sancharamanyairanam Nityam Shankarapada Padmayugali Nide Viharam Kuru Akirne Nakarajikanti Vibhavai Rudyasudha Vaibhavai Adhaute Picha Padmaraj Kalite Hamsaurajayashrite Nityam Bhakti Vadhu Ganesha Rahasi Svecha Viharam Kuru Sthitva Manasarajaham Sargidija Nathangri Saudhantare Shambhudhyana Vasanta Sangini Hृदा Rame Dhajirnachadaha Srasta Bhakti Lata Chata Vilasita Punya Pravala Shrutaha Deepyante Gunakoraka Japavacha Pushpani Sadvasanat Jnananda Sivanandalahari Sambit Phalabhyunnatihi Nityanandarasalayam Suramunis Swantam Bhujatashrayam Swacham Sadvijasevitam Kalushavita Sadvasana Vishkritam Shambhudhyana Sarovaram Rajamano Hamsavatam Sasthiram Kim Kshudrashaya Pallala Brahmana Sanjata Shramam Prapsyasi. So verse 48 is over. In verse 47, Hridarame Aghajirnachadaha Srastaha Bhaktilata Chata Vilasitaha. So this Bhakti was personified as a creeper. Srastaha Bhaktilata Chata Vilasitaha. Vilasitaha means it is something which has been adorned. So embellished by. Which is embellished by? The heart in the form of garden. Hridarami. So in the heart in the form of garden, this creeper in the form of bhakti is growing, and so on. That is what was described. So the verse that we will be studying, 49, which will be taking up, is also describing bhakti as a lata. But it has a completely different kind of description. Bhaktilatachhata vilasitaha punya pravalashhritaha, and so on. That was the description in 47. Now we will take up 49 now. Anandamritapurita
Anandamritapurita Anandamritapurita
Harapadam bhojala valodyata
Harapadam bhojala valodyata Harapadam bhojala valodyata
Sthairyopaghanamupetyya 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 Bhaktilatika 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 Shakhopashakhanvita 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 Uccairmanasakayamanapatalim 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 Akramya nishkalmasha Akramya nishkalmasha Akramya nishkalmasha Nityabhishta-phalaprada bhavatu me Nityabhishta-phalaprada bhavatu me Nityabhishta-phalaprada bhavatu me Satkarma samvardhita Satkarma samvardhita Satkarma samvardhita Satkarma samvardhita nityabhishta phalaprada bhavatu me. So me evam bhavatu. So me evam bhavatu. Evam bhavatu means let it be so for me. So how should this latika be? So all of them are strilinga ending. Nityabhishta phalaprada. So they are all qualifying this bhakti latika. May this bhakti latika be wish-yielding for me. Is the ultimate prarthana. Nityam means so forever, eternally. May this creeper in the form of devotion be yielding whatever I desire for. Okay. Abhishta phalaprada. Okay. Nityam abhishta phalaprada yesha bhakti latika bhavatu me. Is what he says. But then this bhakti latika is described by various phrases in this. Okay. That's where Bhagavad Pada brings in the poetic beauty here. The first description is Anandamrita Purita. The word Amrita is generally used to refer to nectar. It is used to refer to nectar because if you try to derive the word Amrita, then so it means that which will save you from being a mortal being. Okay, that which will lead you to immortality. So this is the idea with which the word has been formed. Now, here the word Amrita is to be understood as water. So water. So in earlier instances also, Bhagavad Pada was using this word Amrita for describing water. Because without this, you will not be able to survive. So for you to live, water is the most essential thing, whether you consume food or not. Okay. So Anandamrita Purita. So this qualifies this latika. So this creeper, what is the creeper here? It is devotion. Now, if you simply take Amrita to be water, for a creeper to grow, we need water. So Amrita Purita, you can just take. But Amrita here with reference to this Vyakti, the Bhakta, so that is joy. So Ananda Rupam Yat Amritam. That is how we have to understand. So when you are exhibiting devotion, understand? When you are having devotion, it is basically a certain activity, the activity which has to do with the mind. And this activity should be fetching you a sense of happiness, the joy. So without joy, any activity cannot be undertaken, and even if it is undertaken, it is not going to be useful activity. Okay? So therefore, now he is saying, as water is essential for the growth of the creeper, similarly, so when you engage in bhakti, so it has to be a source of joy for you. Then only it can be continued. So therefore, Ananda Amrita Purita. Then we have another interesting phrase, Harapadam Bhojala Valodyata. Harapadam Bhoja Eva Alavalam. The word Alavalam is used to refer to, do you know what is Alavalam? Alavalam refers to a small basin that is created by us around the stem of a plant or a creeper. Alavalam. Okay. So Alavalam is a small water basin. We used to have a lot of joy in creating this Alavalam, and then letting this Alavalam open also to connect from one to the other. So in my grandfather's place, so there is a great joy in doing that. Okay, you play with the mud and then you try to water them. Some fellow will pour. So once it is filled, you want to let it to the other Alavala. Okay, so there will be various Alavalas which will be connected. On this Alavalambu, Alava, in fact, there is a beautiful verse. In Raghuvamsha he uses this verse. I will repeat the verse, then I will tell you the meaning. Sekante munikanyabhihi,
Sekante munikanyabhihi, Sekante munikanyabhihi,
Takshano vrikshakam,
Takshano vrikshakam, Takshano vrikshakam,
Vrikshakam. Sekante munikanyabhihi takshanochita vrikshakam. Vishwasaya vihanganam, Vishwasaya vihanganam, Vishwasaya vihanganam, Alavalam bupayinam, Alavalam bupayinam, Alavalam bupayinam. This is a very beautiful verse. What Kalidasa here describes is the sight which was seen by Dilipa as he is proceeding to the ashrama of the Vasishtha. So he says, Sekante, the word Sekaha. Sekaha means pouring water. Ante means at the end. So these Munikanyas, so they engage themselves in pouring water at the sunrise itself. So this we find a similar description even in Shakuntalam. right? Shakuntala will not even take an ounce of water before feeding the creepers. That is what is described there by Kalidasa in his Shakuntala. So here he is describing the girls in the hermitage, Sekante. The moment they pour water into the alavala, he says they will be leaving the alavala. Takshanochita vrikshakam. Takshana means immediately. Okay? Immediately they will leave that. Vrikshaka means a small plant basically. Hrasvarthe kapratya. Takshanojhita vrikshakam means instantaneously they will leave the alavala. Why would they leave alavala? So that is described in the second half of the verse. He says, Vishwasaya vihanganam. See, in order to instill confidence in the birds, vihanganam vishwasaya. So when you are standing there, so they may be scared to come and take the water from that. Okay? So the birds come and take water from the alavala. Vishwasaya vihanganam. And the last phrase used in the verse is describing the birds. Alavalambu payinam means those who take water from alavala. Okay? Vishwasaya vihanganam alavalambu payinam. So this incidentally, this verse describes that they took care of all the plants around them. Okay. So they love feeding them. This is one thing. Second is they also care for other beings like birds. That you should not stand in the way. So they, on their own, they may have some sankocha, they may be scared of you. But never try to create a sense of fear in them, but try to create a sense of confidence in them. Anyway, so that is how the word alavala has been employed by Kalidasa there. Here we have the same word, the harapadam bhoja lavalodyata. You can say a lava lati, alavala. A samantat jalalavam alati, you can say. Understand? A samantat from all sides, jalalavam. Okay. So the water that you pour is brought near to the roots. Okay. Alavala. Vishwasaya vihanganam alavalam bupayinam. This is a beautiful description of the Munikanyas. Here he says, what is alavala here in this verse? Harapadam bhojalavalodyata. So this devotion can be anywhere. Right? But this devotion has to be restricted to Harapadam Bhoja. Harapadam Bhoja. There is a story, this fellow. So many people have devotion. Devotion is essentially Atyanta Prema, nothing more. Okay. Premati Shayaha. So this is what is devotion. It can be in any activity. It can be towards an entity, towards other human beings. Okay? So that is what it is. Your mind is always dragged towards that. Right? So that is what is devotion. So this, even Tulsi Dasa is supposed to, the story is like that, right? So he was so much devoted to her. So then one day he makes a remark. See, if you show this devotion towards Rama, so you will have some Sadgati, why are you chasing me? So that struck him, and then that is what they say is completely turned, right? This is the story, I think. Anyway, so this devotion here is to be confined to this. Okay. So I will have Preeti in n number of things, that doesn't work. So therefore the water, okay, that you pour should be restricted by the activities around this. See, Harapadam Bhojalavala Tena Udyata. Tena Udyata means the creeper further grows to greater strengths. Okay. Udyata means rises further up. Harapadam Bhojalavalodhyata. This is the second phrase. Then we have the third phrase, Sthairyo Paghanamupetya Bhakti Latika. This Bhakti Latika, Sthairyo Paghanamupetya. Upetya means having gotten hold of. So, gotten hold of what? Sthairyam. Sthairyam. So, this Sthairyam, as you would have seen in all the verses, so last few verses, so he always uses two things. One will refer to the Hridaya, the other will refer to that entity. Okay. So here again, similarly, either he uses a word which has a double entendre, or he will use a word in such a way, okay, that it describes, if you view in one particular way to something, another particular way to another entity. So if you conceive of a Bhakti Latika, Lata always needs something to hold to. Okay. So here, Sthairyam eva upaghanam. So upaghanam is, let us assume that it is the rod, okay, so to which it clings to. Initially it has to climb up for holding. So here, with reference to the devotion, he says it should not be fleeting, it should stick to strongly. Okay. So many a times it just happens, see, that we may decide, okay, that I will devotedly do this work. But then that sthairya will go away. See, somebody will come, why don't we go there? Okay. So this determination will be gone and we will be going somewhere else, right? This is what will happen. Sthairya. Sometimes I have also seen, see, I remember in my childhood, so my mother will always call me from playing exactly at 6 o'clock in the evening. So we may play for some time, then she will just call, come. Okay. We have to do Sandhyavandanam, we have to do studies, etc. for some time. So then the other fellows, see, with whom I was playing, so they will start mocking at me. Oh, he has got call, he has to run away. Sometimes I will feel bad that these people are jeering at me. Okay, that jeering. But anyway, most of the time I will immediately go. Okay? Go. Why am I saying this is, this thairyam. See, this thairyam, that firmness, a commitment towards something. See, that may just go away. But even with reference to bhakti, see, there is an interesting verse. So this, if you are doing this bhakti, suppose you do this bhajan, etc., then there may be some fellows so who may make some sarcastic remarks, right? So then also people just leave and then go. I have seen a video of this is just showing various things. Maybe a similar instance is beautifully described in Narayaniyam. I'll just tell you. So this thairyo paghanamupetya is very important. That is why I am just trying to tell you. So this verse is a very beautiful verse. This is in Sadhara, you repeat. Papoyam Krishna Rametyabhilapati. Papoyam Krishna
कृष्णरामेत्यभिलपति पापोऽयं कृष्णरामेत्यभिलपति
निजं गूहितुं दुश्चरित्रम्
निजं गूहितुं दुश्चरित्रम् निजं गूहितुं दुश्चरित्रम्
निर्लज्जस्यास्य वाचा निर्लज्जस्यास्य वाचा निर्लज्जस्यास्य वाचा बहुतरकथनीयानि मे बहुतरकथनीयानि मे बहुतरकथनीयानि मे विघ्नितानि 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 अपोयं कृष्णरामेत्यभिलपति निजं गूहितुं दुश्चरित्रम् निर्लज्जस्यास्य वाचा बहुतरकथनीयानि मे विघ्नितानि भ्राता मे वन्ध्यशीलः भ्राता मे वन्ध्यशीलः भ्राता मे वन्ध्यशीलः भजति भ्राता मे वन्ध्यशीलो भजति भजति च सदा भजति च सदा भजति च सदा भजति च सदा विष्णुमित्थं बुधांस्ते विष्णुमित्थं बुधांस्ते विष्णुमित्थं बुधांस्ते भ्राता मे वन्ध्यशीलो भजति च सदा विष्णुमित्थं बुधांस्ते विष्णुमित्थं बुधांस्ते निन्दन्त्युच्चैर्हसन्ति 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 तादृशं मा कृथामा तादृशं मा कृथामा. That is how it ends. Okay, I'll just tell you, this is what happens. In fact, I was telling you, I was mocked at and jeered by others. So this is what is nicely described. See, Papoyam Krishnarametyabhilapati. This Bhattatri says that my brother, so he referring to his own brother. So his brother's statement is, so this fellow is a papa. Papa means one who has committed a lot of sins. Okay. So in order to hide his sins, he is just saying Rama, Krishna and so on. Papoyam Krishna Rametyabhilapati. Abhilapati. Not even Japati. Abhilapati. Okay. Papoyam Krishna Rametyabhilapati. For what? Nijam guhitum duschalitram. In order to hide his own, okay, nefarious activities. Nijam guhitum duschalitram. Then he says, nirlajjasyasya vacha. Nirlajjasya vacha. See, why he is saying this is, when you are trying to criticize others, okay, so you have to use the strongest terms. He is a shameless fellow. Okay. By the words of this shameless fellow. Who is the shameless fellow? this fellow who is rendering Krishna Rama. Okay. And he further says, Nirlajjasyasya vacha bahutara kathaniyani me vighnitani. Me kathaniyani vighnitani means my words, whatever I have to say, have been stopped. Stopped means this fellow is doing Sankirtana and therefore I am not able to converse in my house with others. You understand? Shamelessly, this fellow, shamelessly means I have been telling him stop bhajan, he is not stopping. So shamelessly he keeps continuing, and because of this fellow's noise, I am unable to have conversations with others in the house. Bahutara kathaniyani me vighnitani. And further he says, Bhrata me vandhyashila. Vandhyashila means one who has a proclivity to engage in activities which are meaningless. Vandhyashila. Vandhyam kartum shilam yasya saha. Okay. Bhrata me vandhyashilaha bhajati cha sada Vishnum Itham budham ste. Itham, similar in this way, budhan means actually wise people. Wise people engage in this devotion. Okay, so they feel that everything is taken care by Ishvara and so on. Itham budham ste nindantyuchchair hasanti. Nindantyuchchair Tvai nihitamateen. Nindantyuchchair hasanti Tvai nihitamateen tadrisam makrithamam. Tvai nihitamateen budhan. So those who are able to have bhakti like Meera or Tulsidas, te budhaha. Tan budhan evam nindanti. So not only they censure, they gather crowd around them. Hasanti. They will make many people laugh. Okay. Why I am saying this is what will happen even when you want to study. Our fellows say, hey, why don't you come? Let us go. So that is not going to work. We have to be firm. Sthiryam. Sthiryam should be there. Firm determination to do something. Sthiryam upetya bhakti latika. Understand? The devotion has to embrace this determination. So then it will keep going. Okay? Otherwise, there is a problem. Sthiryam upetya bhakti latika. Then Shakhopashakhanvita. So then it will start really flourishing. Okay? Shakhopashakhanvita. It will start giving various branches. Shakhopashakhanvita. Then he says, Uchir manasa kayamana patalim akramya. This is also an interesting phrase. Kayamana patalim. Patali means some sort of a layer surface. That is what is called patali. Some people use even for referring to chapters in the book. Prasam of Patalaha, Dvitiya of Patalaha. Okay. So here he is saying Kayamana Patali. This Kayamana is an adjective to Patali. Okay. So Kayamana Patali. A Patali which is having the measure. See, the word Kayamana means Kayatulya Parimana. Kaya means Sharira. Normally it is used to refer to the body. The body is called Kaya. In fact, in Tamil also there is a saying, see, there are some Tamilians. Kayame idu poyyada. Okay. Kayam means this physical Sharira. Okay. Somebody is just singing a small song. It has nice philosophy. Okay. Kayame idu poyyada katradaitha payyada. Essentially, it has some prasa. So this physical body is mithyabhuta. Poyyada. Poi means mithyabhuta. Okay. What is it? It is a bag which is filled with air. Katradaitha payyada. Once this gas leaks, it is gone. So this is a phrase which is used. Kayame idu poyyada katradaitha payyada. So this kaya refers to this physical body. So kayamana means mana is measure. So kayamana patali makramya. So it is akramya means it goes and occupies. It goes and occupies what? Kayamana patali makramya. So once you give this, what will happen is, if it is near your, let us assume that there is a small hut. Okay. So those days people live in Parnashala, right? And the creepers will be allowed to climb upon that. So you will put a stick and then you may leave it. I have seen in many houses, even now you may see. See the pumpkin, etc. They will allow it to grow on the rooftop. Okay. So this Kayamana Patali Makramya means this is not something which has to be too high. So this hut itself in those days will mean just, even now if you go to villages, so you have to just kneel down and then go into that. The height will be more or less similar to the height of the human being. It will not be more than 8 feet. So it will just come, okay, 8 feet to 6 feet something. It will be a mud wall. So that is why he is using the word Kayamana Patali Makramya. Means the surface which it goes and occupies this creeper is almost of the similar measure. The surface is having a measure which is similar to the measure of height of the human being. Akramya, but then it goes and spreads. Now, which is this? This is Uchair Manasam. So, this mind. So, it has to go and fill that. Okay. It has to take the mind to greater heights and then it has to fill that. So, that is why he is saying this creeper in the form of devotion. So, he is just trying to use phrases so that you can visualize what is happening with the creeper and what is happening internally. Okay. Uchair manasa kayamana patalim akramya. Okay. And then he says Nishkalmasha. This Nishkalmasha is also a phrase that is applicable to both. How? Once this creeper climbs and goes up, so nothing will happen. See, even if rain comes, so mud will not be splashed onto it. It will be Nishkalmasha. Right? And similarly here, so your heart will be Nishkalmasha. Okay? Nishkalmasha. Once it is filled with bhakti, okay, this latika goes and occupies your mind, then it becomes Nishkalmasha. Uchair manasa kayamana patali makramya nishkalmasha. Then finally you have one more phrase in the 4th quarter end. Satkarma samvardhita. So this has to be nourished. Vardhita means so nourished. So how does the bhakti get nourished? The bhakti gets nourished by doing the good deeds. So you engage more, you show love and affection to others. So all the good deeds that you perform will nourish your bhakti. Okay? So you engage only in activities which are likely to nourish bhakti and not make it perish. Okay? So this is what is meant by Satkarma Sambardhita Bhakti. Okay, with respect to human being. So with respect to the creeper, so you can think of all those activities that you can do. See, you can add some manure to that. You can do some small tilling. You can add some soil. So all of them are Satkarma. So with respect to the creeper, Satkarma Samvardhita. Bhakti Latika. Then, if it happens, then what will happen? Nityaha bhishta phala prada bhavatu me. This abhishtam generally means whatever is desired. But if you think of, you may desire To have a car you may desire, to have a house you may desire, to have a job you may desire, to climb up the ladder, whatever it is. Ultimately, whatever be that you desire, it is all to make you happy. Okay? So, Sukha Prapti, Dukha Nivritti. This is the ultimate desire. So, this ultimate desire, may this bhakti nourished this way. So, Nityabhishta Phalaprada. See, the car may be desired by you for some time. Once it starts giving trouble, then it has to be disposed of. The house may be like that, the wife may be like that. So, whatever it is, husband may be like that. This is what, I mean, today morning my mother, that's why I was reminded. My mother was saying that some instance, okay. So, she was very disturbed that somebody who is known to us, so that marriage took place, and then, so she got the story yesterday night, she told me, and she said that girl wanted a divorce and they had to give some 1 crore rupees, okay, to parting away. So you would spend 2 crores for marriage, you give 1 crore too. Anyway, so that is what it is. Anyway, so this is Uchchair Manasa Kayamana Patali Makramye Nishkalmasha Nityabhishta Phalaprada. Why I said this was, this is Nityabhishta. The others are all Anityabhishta. So this Nityabhishta Phalaprada, this bhakti will give you some abhishta which is eternally chosen by people. So, sarvaihi sarvada abhishtam yat tat sukham dadati. Nityabhishta phala prada. That is the phala. That phala is given by that. Bhavatu me satkarma samvardhita. Read.
Annamrita purita harapadam bhojanavadodhyata Sthairyopakkhanamupetya bhakti latika shakopashakhanvita Uchchair manasakayamana patalim akramya nishkalmasha Nityabhishta phalaprada bhavatu me satkarma samvardhita.
Sandhyarambha vijrumbhitam
Sandhyarambha vijrumbhitam Sandhyarambha vijrumbhitam
Shrutishirast
Shrutishirantaradhishtitam Shrutishirantaradhishtitam
Sthanantaradhishtitam, you can't be prolonging. Shrutishirantaradhishtitam
Shrutishirantaradhishtitam Shrutishirantaradhishtitam
Saprema Bhramarabhiramamasakrita
Saprema Bhramarabhiramamasakrita Saprema Bhramarabhiramamasakrita
Sadvasana Shobhitam
Sadvasana Shobhitam Sadvasana Shobhitam
Bhogindra
Bhogindrabharanam Bhogindrabharanam
Samasta Sumanaf Pujyam Gunavishkritam
Samasta Sumanaf Pujyam Gunavishkritam Samasta Sumanaf Pujyam Gunavishkritam
Seve Shri Giri Mallikarjuna
Seve Shrimadi Mallikarjuna Seve Shri Giri Mallikarjuna
Mahalingam Shivalingitam
Mahalingam Shivalingitam Mahalingam Shivalingidam.
So this, some of you can easily guess, is describing one of the Jyotirlingas. See, so this one of the 12 lingas is Mallikarjuna, correct. See. So if you see the fourth quarter, it says Seve Shri Giri Mallikarjuna Mahalingam is what you say. So this Mahalingam is described by various other qualifiers here. Okay. So most of the other words that you find here is all description of this. This Mahalingam Seve. Okay. So Kidisha Mahalingam Seve. Shri Giri Mallikarjuna Mahalingam. The place in which this Jyotirlinga is there is called Sri Shaila. Sri Shaile Mallikarjunam. Okay. So Varanasyantu Vishvesam. It goes like that. So Sri Giri, this Giri is a synonym of Shaila. So since the Shaila will not fit the meter, so he says Sri Giri. So Sri Giri Mallikarjuna Mahalingam. This Mallikarjuna is also generally interpreted in two ways. So Arjuna is the name of a tree and Mallika is basically a creeper. So Mallikarjuna is basically a creeper bounding around Arjuna, something like that. And this is Mahalingam. The word lingam is also interpreted as Linam Gamayati Lingam. Okay. So Linam Gamayati means something which indicates something which is very deep. Okay. So Sukshma Tattvam, that is what they say. So since it enables you to discover the Sukshma Tattva, okay, it is neither having no form nor having the physical form. Okay. So it is sort of intermediate which helps you to get into more Sukshma. Now this Mahalingam Shivalingitam. Shivalingitam is the phrase used to describe that it is embraced by Parvati. Alingitam. The Alinganam should not be this, because he uses this phrase Mallikarjuna. So as the creeper embraces a tree, so he is using like that, Shivalingitam. Okay. So one should take it in the sense that they are inseparable. So like Vagartha viva Sampruta. See, Parasparashlishta Vapurdharabhyam. So this is Aslesha should not be taken as so putting each other's okay. So hands on the neck. So that doesn't that is not the meaning here. It should be a metaphorical sense. And the other comparison is also just to say that they are inseparably connected. That is what is indicated by Vagartha viva Sampruta. Okay. Now the other descriptions are Sandhyarambha Vijrumbhitam. So, Vijrumbhanam means basically growing. Okay. So here one has to understand this as growing in glow. How? Because the Sri Shaila is basically in the eastern part of the India, close to the border in Andhra. Okay. So what perhaps Bhagavad Pada intends is to tell, Sandhyarambham means this, both morning and evening are described as Sandhya, Sandhya Kala. So as the sun rises, perhaps in that temple, so the sunlight enters into the sanctum, and therefore Sandhyarambha Vijrumbhitam means it grows further in Sandhya Kala. As the Sandhya rises, the glow also enhances. Sandhyarambha Vijrumbhitam. Then we have Shrutishirasthanantaradhishtitam. Okay. Shrutishirasthanantaradhishtitam. So Shruti is Veda. Shruti Shiraha refers to Vedanta. So Shrutishira sthanantarena adhishtitam. Okay. So sthanantaram is to be understood as so something which is moving off from the regular place. Okay. So this Shrutishira sthanantarena, sthanam normally Shruti describes this various, most of the part of the Shrutis are pratipadana of karma. Okay. So Shruti Shiras describes some sthanantaram. Okay. Tena adhishtitam means sort of alankritam, established. Okay. So this Parameshwara Tattva, Linga Tattva is established through the Shruti Shiras sthanantaram. Okay. Shruti Shiras sthanantaradhishtitam. Okay. Then Saprema. You can also understand in a physical sense, since he has been always trying to put double meaning, you can understand as Shruti and Shira. See, even when you do Namaskara, so you try to turn. Okay, so this linga is adorned by that. You can think of that way also. Shruti Shirasthanantara. See, Shruti is Karna and Shiraha is head. So Tena Adhishtitam. Shruti Shirasthanantara Adhishtitam. See, sometimes you find people going and hugging the linga. In North India, you will see. Okay, so they will do and then they will. So something like that you can imagine. Shruti Shirasthanantara Adhishtitam in a physical sense. Saprema Bhramarabhirama Sakrit Sadvasana Va Shobhitam. Saprema Bhramarabhirama Masakrit Sadvasana Shobhitam. So Saprema Bhramarabhirama. So here again one can think of, so in a physical sense, suppose there are a lot of flowers which are offered unto the linga. Okay. So then this Brahmaras will come, okay, and move around that. So that itself will add some beauty to the linga. Okay. So Tena Abhiramam, Saprema means with great love and affection. Okay. So they will come to take that. Asakrit means repeatedly. Sadvasana Shobhitam means, so this is enhanced by the fragrance that is generated. Okay. So in a physical sense, imagine that the linga is flooded with flowers of a variety of types. So they generate a great sense of fragrance around that. Okay. Saprema Bhramarabhiramam Sakrit Sadvasana Shobhitam Bhogindrabharanam. Bhogindrabharanam. Bhogindra means, what is Bhogindra? Bhogi is a word which is used to refer to serpent. So Bhogindrabharanam means the one who has serpent as abharanam. Okay. Bhogindrabharanam Samasta Sumanaf Pujyam. Samasta Sumanaf Pujyam. Sumanaha is a word that is used to refer to Kusuma. Okay. One of the meanings is Pushpa. Okay. So Sumanaf Pujyam means Samasta Sumanaf Pujyam. Okay. If there is a purpose to be used, if there is a real purpose for the flower to be used, then it is offering. And therefore Samasta Sumanaf Pujyam. So by all the flowers, so they are put upon the linga. So the one who is to be worshipped by all flowers. Understand? Samasta Sumanaf Pujyam Gunavishkritam. So Gunena Avishkritam Gunavishkritam Seve Shri Mallikarjuna Mahalingam Shivalingitam. So in terms of describing it with reference to the individual also, this verse can be done. Maybe I will do it in the next class. Okay. So we will stop it here. Okay. Om Sarve Sukhinas Santu Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid